Are you sitting comfortably? Good. Do you have a popcorn? Excellent. Have you switched the lights off? Perfect. We have picked 10 of their favorite spooky, chilling movies that you need to watch. These horror movies are not only scary, but will make you wonder who is under your bed when you were sleeping, and who is behind your back while watching these movies. You really shouldn't watch these movies alone, or you will feel uncomfortable, because these freaky flicks will leave you sleeping with one eye open and the lights on. Here are 10 really scary movies you should never watch alone. Sweet dreams. Number 10. The Wind. Lizzie is a tough, resourceful frontiersman settling a remote stretch of land on the 19th century American frontier. Isolated from civilization in a desolate wilderness where the wind never stops howling, she begins to sense a sinister presence that seems to be born of the land itself, an overwhelming dread that her husband dismisses as superstition. When a newlywed couple arrives at a nearby homestead, their presence amplifies Lizzie's fears, setting into motion a shocking chain of events. Number 9. The Prodigy. Sarah and John Bloom are thrilled when their young son Miles starts to show signs of rapid development and extreme intelligence. Their family bliss soon turns into a living nightmare when Miles's behavior becomes increasingly erratic and violent by his 8th birthday. After seeking help from 2 experts, Sarah is horrified to learn that her beloved Prodigy may be under the grip of a dark and supernatural force. Number 8. Annabelle. In Santa Monica, California, Mia and John Gordon are happily married, and Mia is pregnant. John is concluding the medical school and does not have much time to give attention to his beloved wife, so he buys an ancient and rare doll named Annabelle for her collection. But soon, their next-door neighbors are attacked by 2 members of a satanic cult that break into their house and attack them after killing the neighbors. Mia and John are saved by the police officers, and Mia needs to rest until the delivery. But there is a fire in their house, and Mia early delivers a baby girl, Leah. The family moves to an apartment in Pasadena, but first Mia throws the doll Annabelle away in the garbage. However, she finds the doll in a box while unpacking things in her new home. Weird things happen to Mia, and she befriends Evelyn, who works in a bookstore, and she learns about an evil cult that wants Leah's soul. When John and Mia summons Father Perez to help them with Annabelle, evil is stronger than the priest, and he is sent injured to the hospital. Who may save Leah's soul now? Number 7. Mirrors. In a bid to pull his shattered life back together, troubled ex-cop Ben Carson takes a job as a security guard at the burned-out ruins of a once prosperous department store. As Ben patrols the charred hallways, he begins to see horrifying images in the ornate mirrors that still adorn the walls. Ben soon realizes that a malevolent force is using the mirrors to gain entrance into this world, threatening the lives of his wife and children. Number 6. Dead Silence. There is an old ghost story in the sleepy town of Raven's Fair about Mary Shaw, a ventriloquist who went mad. Accused of the murder of a young boy, she was hunted down by vengeful townspeople who cut out her tongue and killed her. They buried her along with her children, a handmade collection of vaudeville dolls. Since that time, Raven's Fair has been plagued by death. The ghastly dolls from Mary Shaw's collection have gone missing from the grave and reappeared over the decades. In the dead of night, wherever they are glimpsed, families are found gruesomely murdered, with their tongues were torn out. Far from the pall of their hometown, newlyweds Jamie and Lisa Ashen thought they had established a fresh start. But when his wife is grotesquely killed, Jamie reluctantly returns to Raven's Fair for the funeral, intent on unraveling the mystery of her death. Once reunited with his ill father and his father's new young bride, Jamie must dig into the town's bloody past to find out who killed his wife and why. As he uncovers the legend of Mary Shaw, Jamie unlocks the story of her curse and the truth behind the song from his childhood. If you see her and scream, you will never speak again. Number 5. The Babadook. The reason why The Babadook is being called one of the scariest horror films in recent memory that it is not a movie about a monster. Instead, it's a film about a mother. After Amelia reads Samuel a new book which has suddenly appeared in his room called The Babadook, he appropriately starts freaking out, deathly afraid of the titular beast, and suddenly causing even more of a ruckus with Amelia's friends, who were genuinely disturbed by the fact that this maturing little boy still believes in monsters. Even Amelia starts freaking out, seeing things on her own, losing her grip on reality as her son only dives deeper into his fear. Although many frightening events happen and stylish brooding set pieces are deployed with harrowing effect, Once it's all over, the audience is left with the question as to whether or not the Babadook was real. Was the monster instead a manifestation of all the resentment Amelia had built up over the years towards her son, never acknowledging them until he pushes her to her absolute breaking point? Especially with the film's far too gleeful last minutes, these questions require some time to sink in. Number 4. Us. Accompanied by her husband, son, and daughter, Adelaide Wilson returns to the beachfront home where she grew up as a child. Haunted by a traumatic experience from the past, Adelaide grows increasingly concerned that something bad is going to happen. Her worst fears soon become a reality when 4 masked strangers descend upon the house, forcing the Wilsons into a fight for survival. When the masks come off, the family is horrified to learn that each attacker takes the appearance of one of them. Number 3. Shudder. The American film, based on the Thai movie of the same name, revolves around Ben Shaw, a photographer who travels to Tokyo with his wife Jane. While on the road, their car collides with a girl, and when they get out of the car, they find nothing. Blood and nothing suggest an accident. The couple thinks that the shock may not have been as big as they thought, and that the girl went to her path and is fine, and then continue their way. But then the girl begins to appear in all the pictures taken by the photographer, and then evolve and accelerate to begin a series of strange and terrifying events in chasing the couple. Ben tries to look behind it to discover unknown facts, and the picture starts to clarify more and more to frighten him. The film succeeded popularly despite criticism from critics, and finished 3rd in the list of most grossing films in the first week of release in the United States and Canada. Hereditary. At first glance, Hereditary hardly looks sinister. It begins quietly at a grandmother's funeral. Annie, an artist with a fondness for creating miniature dollhouses, feels tired but emotionless. That worries her. She asks her husband Steve whether she's supposed to feel sadder over the death of her mother. He says that will happen in due time, but the events in Hereditary will bring no comfort for Annie, her husband, and their 2 children, Peter and Charlie. Number 1. The Conjuring. One of the best horror movies I have ever seen, and this is not my opinion alone. It made $318 million, while the budget was about $20 million, making it one of the most profitable horror movies in history. The film revolves around the couple Lauren and Ed Warren, who are interested in solving exotic and supernatural issues. Helping the couple what is happening in her new home is suspicious. Once the couple goes home to see one of the best horror stories of haunted houses, there are dozens of strange and terrifying events that surround the house, which alarmingly escalates to make your heartbeat accelerate to the end. Thanks for watching, and as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.